Okay, hello everybody. Let's see if somebody is watching another live stream here on YouTube, and you could hear my voice was a bit weird. It sounded more like this. Okay, let's shut it off. It's Reverb 2 with reverse, and the storm room has a nice taste to it. So yeah, welcome. And yeah, it's very hot in the Netherlands. We have extreme weather, over 40 degrees. And lucky enough, I have my studio in the basement. So here's pretty okay. It's a bit warmer than normally, but it's nice to work. And of course, this is the first live stream after the holiday again. And we had some good news. I'm playing now around with Prisma. And Prisma uses twice B.I.T in this preset. So what I will do, or what you will see, is if you go to the info section below it, you can download these presets yourself for Prisma, and you need to drag them from, if you unzip them, drag these 9 presets to the Prisma folder, and of course to the bank of JoMal 03. And here you can see it has some 9 new presets, and of course you need to locate them. What I always do is I go to the browser and look on the dates. So let's open it here, and you can see then the date is 25 of July, and here you can see in total there are 9 new presets by JoMal for Prisma, and it's mainly using B.I.T, and also one uses Punch combined with B.I.T. So in this info section below the YouTube video, you can download it, and of course in the next update we will add this. So yeah, and then I had also in the background you heard some playing. That was the bass from okay, let's see, the bass from B.I.T. So let's open this. Where is it again? Here it is, and it's a kind of replica bass of the Lately bass, which is originally a from the FM synthesis module from the DX11 and also the TX81Z rack module. And I found it a bit too bright for this part, so I would make it a bit less bright. So I would go down here with the cutoff frequency, and then maybe also the envelope amount. So I would use it more like this, and then on top I play this Prisma with this 2 sounds, which are combined here in Prisma, and these are twice B.I.T. And both of them using the arpeggiator. I can solo this one, layer 1. It's a bit pan to the left, and this is layer 2, is pan to the right. And the cool thing is you have 4 sliders here, and you can use them to change the sound. Let's try. Use the modulation wheel. Yeah, and then this one combined with the other one. See, you can combine Prisma. You really can use it as a kind of super stacking thing for combining 2 sequences. You can still edit the program. So when I open layer 1, it opens. You see here is the arpeggiator, the sequencer. change it. Let's see, make it 16 steps. Let's see how that combines together with the other one. So this is solo. That's with the other one. So each fader you see down here, you can address one of the parameters from the easy page or control the FX. You see this one, delay amount, you see layer 1 FX 1 cent and layer 2 FX 1 cent. So this controls the amount of the FX cent, and you see it also here moving. If you look careful, you have FX1 and FX2, FX1 from layer 2, and you can see if I move the slider that also these little dials are moving. Okay, let's see in the chat room. And of course today, because of the heat, I don't, and yeah, of course the summertime, I don't expect that much views or people in the chat today because, well, many are on holidays. And of course I also enjoyed a very nice holidays. And of course I said the Dutch people are totally waste because of the total heat today. And I see somebody's watching in the shadow. Yeah, that's why. It's in the sun, it's terrible. We are not used to the high degrees, 40 degrees, and the humidity is very high in the Netherlands, so it's not very pleasant. Okay, so what we had also this week is the release of B.I.T, which is then compatible with the NKS system. So if you go to the playlist of B.I.T on YouTube, you can see a video about it, how the parameter layout is done, and you can see here you can open this. And of course, if you use this NKS system, you don't use the preset system which is inside B.I.T itself, but then you use the system from NKS and select the preset here. So here we have also all the same presets on board. So when I click here on JoMal, I can pick them on particular styles, let's say arpeggiated, and then the arpeggiated ones pop up. Let's see what we have here. Percussion sound. So and then you have here the controls. So I can go to page 2 and change the filter, resonance, the envelope, filter 2, back to filter 1. So the cool thing about these dials is that you have pretty much controls in the feel and the combination, and using software it gives far more control. I have also made, let me see if I can arrange this. I just put it on. It's the very old. Let's see, let's open. So for the NKS users, so if you have the complete keyboard or machine 2, yeah, you can download now the latest version of B.I.T to have it. So back here with B.I.T, the normal version, and if I'm not wrong, let's see. Yeah, you see this dial moving. Okay, and I don't think that the keyboard is in screen. Okay, I need to go down a bit. I see. Sorry, guys. So I changed here the parameters, and you could not see it. Okay, and then I do lift off my old, sorry, Access Virus B. And a lot of noise here. I have to place it carefully. And you see, if I open now again You see, B.I.T, you see the filter. I can change it here. And the nice thing, which this is envelope amount. Okay, I think I need to go a bit more down, even more down. Oh no, it's visible here. Okay. Is that you have a kind of layout already. So what I use very often is the Virus B as a controller, because when I search for the cutoff, I know it's here. So it's the label, the layout is very handy to have. I even can change the waveform type. Let's see, it's oscillated too. So that's very handy, especially if you create presets. Let's go to a different preset. Let's say oops, wrong button. Transpace. And you can easily make it feel a bit different. Okay, that's one thing I want to point out. You heard that I changed here the release, but I didn't respond, because that is the case with B.I.T. You have at the back panel the option to have here, which is called external MIDI control capture mode. This makes that if you use an external controller, it starts changing this parameter the moment it hits its value, so it doesn't make jumps suddenly because you turn this dial. So it only starts changing the moment it hits the value. So the bass was a bit too short, and I was turning the dials here, but it was the release which did not hit its preset value to be able to change it. So now I can change it. So you see, by simply using the controllers, you have a more physical control, more physical feel to the sound. And of course, in combination with your mouse, so I place it back now to the right side. So in combination with the mouse, you are totally fast. And if your synthesizer sends out MIDI controllers, you can latch them and save your setup here with the external controller setup. And you see here I have a setup myself. It's a Virus B, and I believe I made this video in the playlist of B.I.T, which you can see MIDI latching, and I think I also linked this file in case you have the Virus B yourself. But you can easily make your own setup if you have a keyboard with all kind of controls, and if they send it out as a controller, you can MIDI latch them. That's the official name. Okay, so yeah, okay, so today I show a few new presets from JoMal, which he made for Prisma. We had anyhow a few weeks ago a new release of Prisma so that it could load a B.I.T. I think we had more newer presets. I'm not sure if where they are. Somebody pointed out, which is a very good idea, is maybe that we could have inside this bank manager a feature where you could see that what are the new presets, which it would be based on the date, so that you see a date behind the preset and you know, okay, this is a newer one. What I always do is watch in the Explorer or the Finder to see the latest presets. So I go now here in the, you see here in the super pads October stack, I can see, so these are newer sound from 2019, which are not much. Effecto stack and October stack. So let's give them a try simply to see what it is. And of course, what you can do yourself, if you see, okay, this is a combination of Vecto. And if you say, okay, I wanna add more to this, you can say pick a current preset, then you take B.I.T and then you open B.I.T. That's what I always do. I open it and then look for the right preset. I could take here something from the synth. Maybe a big synth sound would be nice. So I pick now a big. So now I combine two Vecto together with B.I.T. I think it's so nice. I should save this one. That would be not a bad idea, isn't it? Anyhow, let's see in the chat room. Maybe somebody has a question. Feel free to ask a question. And in case you missed this live stream, you always can watch it back in the playlist. On YouTube, we have a playlist, and the playlist is called live stream. You always can check it out, of course, afterwards, in case you missed it. Yeah, that's a nice idea to have a competition of Prisma best presets. Yeah, that's a very interesting idea. We'll keep that in mind, and maybe we could add something. We have on Facebook a group, and there we could post it maybe, and I could announce it on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, brilliant idea. Let's do this. Okay, so let's see. We had, of course, at the start, for the ones who missed it, I had this weird effect on my voice. This one. Yeah, slightly more. Or we have right? Yeah, this is more right. Yeah, this is dry, and you see, this is the storm room. It's a very typical room. It's nice on drums, but also nice if you want to do some weird sound vocal stuff. So if I go fully wet. And it's the case that it does reverse the sound. So yeah, of course, upper reverb has a great sounding reverb, but also a lot more in terms of features. This reverb thing is very cool. And yeah, for the reverb freaks who like to tweak, this is really a fantastic plugin. And of course, it has a built-in distortion, which is also very nice on drums. So let's bypass this one. And we had these drums here from Punch. Just a beat, a regular beat. Using the inbuilt-in sequencer. Okay, let's F3. It's just coming out of one channel. Here it is. Okay, and then I could take here Reverb 2. We have, of course, some bangs. Here we have the drums and percussion, insert. This one even uses the gate. listen what happens if I use now distortion. Makes totally, again, a different sound. And let's put less has. Other room. So without distortion, the room. With distortion. Without distortion. It's more cleaner, but the distortion really has a kind of edge to it. It's very interesting. Of course, this drum is maybe not the right example for this, but try it out on, if you have the Explorer 5 bundle or Reverb 2, try it out on drums or on percussion. It's a very interesting feature. Okay, let's go back now. Let's put that one in bypass, because we were talking about B.I.T and the fact that we have the complete control. So here we have some pages, and if we have the filter, you can change, but there's also an option. So let's go to a different preset, maybe with the sequences. There's also the preview. Double click loads it. You see here, down here, but there is also the option, if you go to the other pages, to control the arpeggiator. Or the velocity. So these pages are also inside the layout. You can put on the chorus. Yeah, and change things here, the filter. Envelope. So you see up here also the changes when I go to the next page. So this is a range of parameters you can control using the NKS system. Of course, once you have found a nice sound, it saves it within the within inside the song, but it's also wise to save the preset in case you want to use it elsewhere. You can save it inside the system here, so that it saves it as a NKS preset, so you can load it again as an NKS preset, or you can save it, of course, also with your own format, which is from B.I.T. Okay. Checking here the chat room. So yeah, the advantage, sometimes people ask, what is the advantage from having NKS system? Well, the advantage is that if you search for, I can say, okay, all instruments, you can search for synth lead, and then it goes not only into the, then it goes, yeah, in all the synthesizers which have lead sound. So it could be Massive, it could be Predator 2, it could be, yeah, anything which is NKS compatible. So you cross through all the plugins you have and search on synth lead. So that's one of the big advantages of the NKS system. One of the disadvantages is that, of course, it adds another space to your plugin. So everything will be bigger, although you can close this down, and it's adding a bit of height up here and on the left side. And the left side is mostly causing no issues, but it makes, of course, that the plugin is again bigger on your screen. And another disadvantage is if you work with other producers and you want to exchange your songs, they need to have complete control, because in your music program you first select complete control and then pick the plugin. So then they also need to have complete control to be exchangeable. But it's a very nice system, and their keyboard is good, and of course, very nice touch to it, very responsive aftertouch and that kind of stuff. So, okay, that about the NKS thing. We have, of course, then with this latest release from B.I.T, also 41 new presets of JoMal, which is of course great, which makes that B.I.T has over 1,000 presets in its version, and picture that is only out for about 1 month. So if you go here to the JoMal 01 bank, it's almost full. You can see all the presets he has, and let me see if I can find based on the. You see here, if you go to JoMal of 01 in the B.I.T bank folder, we have the dates here, and this shows which are then the newer presets. So 19 July, it's all in time thing. So let's play a few. Okay. I need to close a few pages, or I can recall epoch. Okay, someone is asking, is the same for the free version of Native Instrument Control? I'm not sure if there's a free version of Complete Control. I'm not sure about that. That would be handy. Voices. New categories, yeah, it depends on the synth, of course. Yeah, with Brute 2 and Vector, we have, of course, choirs, and they mostly drop in the part of pads instead of a choir. Yeah, it's a good point to have maybe with Vector. By the way, Vector is also NCAS compatible, to have indeed some more categories, also choirs. Yeah, I have to check that. ABC beat making in the chat room. I have to check this. To my opinion, not sure. Would be great if there is a player which they can use. So even if you don't have any Native Instruments plugins, that you could still use Complete Control for other plugins which have. I'm not sure. Of course, many use also Native Instruments, but not everybody has Complete Control. Okay, so another pad he had is DigiPad. It's of course virtual analog or machine, and oh hey, I'm in the wrong bank now. Okay, I'm going down DigiPad. So I'm just playing a few. Of course, you can download the latest version of Lexia. That's also a new one. The latest version of B.I.T to have all the 41 new presets by JoMal. I'm just playing a few of them. Flashpoint. See, this one. Right. And of course, the nice thing is, if you want to add it, you can add it here yourself. Take another waveform. So that's another one, it's very cool. And then of course this is a very nice one, fourth sequence. So you see here, if you want to make it a bit shorter, the first page has the volume envelope, so which you often use. Second page, you can change the filter. And I see here the envelope is even MIDI tempo based, so the decay has value 1/4 quarter beat. So yeah, another one preset is, let me see if I'm right with that one, Koto-ish. So that will be a Japanese more instruments. Let's see how that one sounds. A bit Chinese. Okay, I'm checking in the chat room, of course, and do you have, there are mapping for Akai VIP? I think they did a lot of our instruments, but I don't know if they did catch up with Sober Bass 2, B.I.T and Vecto. Not sure about that. I did not have any recent contact with them. And okay. Now I'm checking here. Yeah, what is of course back. So these are the new presets. Check them out. Some very cool stuff inside, always inside the JoMal bank. So 41 new presets. Download the latest installer, you will have that. And if you use Anchor S, download the Anchor S installer and use that one. What I always did with my old Jupiter 8, and maybe that's nice to do this with Prisma, is what I always did is with the Jupiter 8, it's 8 voice, but it has a dual mode. Then it's 4 voices only, but then you could stack 2 layers. And what I always did is then make a very nice stereo pad sound. So let's show this, how we could do this. So I go here first with the manager. I go to super pads. Well, I better make a default preset. Default preset, which is here. I go to the layers. Then, of course, I take B.I.T. and I do this twice because I want to have, just like the Jupiter, a layer of a nice analog sounding pad sound. So here I have it. Of course, I shut down layer 2. First I take the first layer. I open the plugin. I go to pads and let's see. And I simply take one of the pad sounds. It's down here, pads. Let's see which we could take. Jupiter Dual Pad 2. Or maybe just a basic pad. Yeah, that one could do. It's of course the case that the chorus makes it very stereo, so I put off the chorus. Okay, so that is one. Then I should take in the second one, I put this one off, I should take the same preset. Okay, the same preset. That's what I also did in the Jupiter 8. Twice the same preset, and then I start tweak it tweak one of the presets. So I go here back again to the same preset, pads, and it was mellow carpet. Put off the chorus, so I have essentially now twice the same sound. So now stacking would not be so effective. Well, it starts more effective if you pan one to the left. Let's say for minus 27 and one here to the right. 70. Then I already have a bit of stereo, but now comes the difference. So what I will do now in the easy page, which controls essentially the parameters, so this is the easy page in the layer, I could make one have a bit different cutoff frequency, and that makes it very stereo. Not too much. 69. 60. And then you have a far more stereo sound. You hear this? And of course, what you can use is here the multi-control page. Sorry, to let's say change the attack time, the release time, and what we also could do is it most likely has a delay. Okay, we shut down the delay in both of B.I.T, so that we can use the delay inside the Prisma, because now instead of using two delays, I can use one delay. In Prisma, I put this on, stereo delay, and give it a good timing, 1/4 and 1/8. Yeah, that should do the job. So, and then I can also use in the multi-control page, I can use delays, this one for controlling the delays. So layer 1, FX1 cent, layer 2, FX1 cent. I open this, then then you have the delays. Now, of course, now I need to address the attack. I go to layer 1 and go to the amp envelope attack of layer 1 and B.I.T layer 2, also envelope attack. And these are from the easy page. So if you go here to the layers, this is the easy page. So now in the multi-control page, I pick one of the easy page parameters, amp envelope attack, and when I go to the right, it should be the case that, okay, it's that I have now, when I open the attack, a longer attack. So that makes that you can adjust the sound in the Prisma if you have this finalized. Now let's do then also the release, layer 1 release, layer 2 release, and then it increases the release here also. It's already pretty long, so what I could do is maybe make it a bit shorter in the already in the okay, then I can use the so now I have very slow. Maybe a bit too slow, but it's for nice for ambient music. Okay, let's save this one. So now I save this one as save preset. I do it in the default preset now. B.I.T. Pat. Here we go. There it is. Of course, I need to finish it a bit. And of course, if you want to combine it even more, there are more options. You can say, okay, let's combine this with Vecto. Okay, now I'm going wild. I pick Vecto. Pick one of the nice choir sounds. I can see this is the big screen version. Choirs. So now, yeah, you combine it with something from Vecto. Also here, I can adjust the parameter. So the modulation wheel opens the filter of both of the B.I.T. So now it sounds like a Jupiter 8 combined with an emulator. That's a bit the sound it has now. And you see Vecto uses then the built-in reverb. You also could say don't use this reverb from Vecto, but for instance use reverb which is built in Prisma again. So there's a lot of options from that point. So even the layer 3, I could say for the FX1 sound. See here the volume envelope I control still a bit from the choir. So I need to save this one also because it sounds so nice. Save preset. This I call then B.I.T Pat Vecto. Okay, so I will they will appear in the final version. Of course, I need to check them a bit, and maybe also the last controller I need to add. So yeah, you see that is very, oops, I moved here my control. Okay, it's a bit out of line. Oh, no, it's okay again. So you see with Prisma, you can do a lot of cool stuff, which normally would take you 3 layers in your sequencer. And then if you have used this in one song and you have 3 tracks, that's cool. But the next time you create a new song, you need to recreate these 3 tracks by stacking these 3 instruments. Now you have B.I.T inside a Prisma. You simply save the preset of Prisma, and then next time you have this layer sound. It is, of course, the case. Sometimes people ask, is it using less CPU if you use 3 instances in Prisma compared to 3 instances in a music program? No, it uses the same CPU. It doesn't reduce the CPU. You can see this as a instrument which has 3 instruments loaded. Okay. I'm looking for the questions here. B.I.T, most likely B.I.T would fit in the rack extension format, but of course we have limited time in programming, and but the plan is to release it also as rack extension, but it will take some time because we know the propeller head users love the workflow of rack extensions, and in terms of size and pages it fits because that's of course the main thing which needs to be checked with rack extensions. So B.I.T, hopefully we will release it someday as rack extension, but it will take some time. And this is also about RP reverse, which we are also looking into making it a rack extension. But of course it needs to be programmed, and yeah, it's anyhow planned. Okay, let's see if there are more things popping up. So this preset, BitPad Vecto, the only thing I need to do now here is, oh, this is, by the way, wrong. I put that in the attack. No, this should be here. Layer 3, FX1, send. Yeah, delay. So still have one control free, which I could use for, let's say, I could name this less choir. So then I would use the fader simply to control the volume of layer 3. And of course, if you nice. Yeah, this really, I'm happy with this patch. I really need to press save preset. Maybe you wonder what I do then at, oops, yes. You wonder what I would do now to finalize it. Yeah, you see I added attack and decay to the synth 1 and 2. So maybe it also would be nice to have that on the vocal thing in Vecto. Only the point is with Prisma, these things which I'm doing now, you need to do at the final end. So it's, I rather have these first 3 together and then start doing these this multi-control page. So sometimes this messes up stuff. So let me see if I can work this out. So I would take then also the attack in layer 3, open this, and use the layer 3 release and open this. Let's see how this changes the sound. Now the choir is very slow, I see. So you see here's the attack and release from Vecto. Let's see how this responds here. So you see this little jump. That is a thing which is a little bug which we can very hard remove. So if you have already something addressed and put something to it again with a new layer, then this not always, let's see if attack, I think I need to do this here. No, that one was already good. Yeah, you see I'm messing up now. So that's a little thing we need to dive into. So I go to originally. Okay, easy page. Back to the multi-control page. So now I did not address it. So what happens with Prisma? I added here the multi-control page to different parameters. And if you do this on a later point, on a new layer, and this is already the fader on a special position, that's not so easy then to add a destination. So I will do this very relaxed when I finalize this preset, and then I will upload and you can download it. And I will download it and you can place it yourself in the B.I.T banks. And now currently it is my own. In the default you see B.I.T and B.I.T Facto. Both I will make available as download. I most likely can check this tomorrow. The presets from JoMal, the 9 new presets, you already can download in the info section below. Okay, so I'm checking here the yeah, with Prisma, pad sounds are totally insane. There's a super pads that is down here. There is, for instance, the use of Bluetooth together with Predator 2 or Blade. So, for instance, Blade into Blue. This is a pad. Here you see Blade and Blue 2 use. Of course, Prisma. Anybody can request Prisma and install it if you have one instrument. So, but of course, it makes most sense if you have the Explorer 5 bundle. Then you can use all the presets which are in Prisma. So, if you would have, for instance, not have a Blade, you only would hear in this preset, only would hear Blue 2 and not the Blade layer. But this one, so this one, that's the cool thing about Prisma, is that you stack, you combine different type of synthesis. Bombastico, let's see what that is. Bluetooth combined with Predator. I don't know what it is, but let's listen. Yes, nice. Oh wow, somebody asked me in the tutorial which pad was which I played in the tutorial about Prisma, and I had to look it up, and it was called the Rodney pad. And Rodney is a Rob Happen user which always came to the NAMM show, and during the NAMM show I showed Prisma and I made this preset, and then of course I use it also in the factory patches. So you see, that's so cool, combining synthesizers together. I only could dream of this in the past. So anybody who makes film music type of things, or maybe ambient music for games, yeah, Prisma is really very, very cool. The only disadvantage with Prisma is that it takes a bit of time for loading each preset. So when I click here, you see here loading, please wait. It's a bit like a sampler loading all the sample data, but now it's not loading sample data, but it's mainly loading all the plugins which are used. And this one, Dark Planet X, uses twice Bluetooth and Go-To. Also very spacey sound. Okay, Rings of Orbit. I just picked one. It's from the B.I.T bank. So if you love B.I.Ts, try out Prisma. So this one, Melt Rings combined with this. so give it a try. It's very nice. And of course, Prisma will expand in the future. If we have new instruments, you can load them in. And yeah, as mentioned, the last one you can add now is sorry, is B.I.T. So if you, for instance, have Go 2 already, go to one of the presets of Go 2. Oh, 4 times. So where's the split point? So that's also possible. See, one, if you go to the layers, there's also a keyboard layout. You see, keyboard layout. Each layer can have a keyboard layout, and this one has a split point. So this combines this together. So and if you say, okay, I don't want to have this lead sound here, I take B.I.T for it, and then you go synth and you use one of the, let's see, edits. I open it. A brass sound, very nice. Okay, so even if you have a current preset, you can pick another instrument and use that and have a split point. Okay, let's back to the chat room. Yes, I'm based in the Netherlands. We have 40 degrees. We hit a all-time record heat wave. So I'm lucky to be in the studio, and here in the studio it's a bit more warmer than normal, but normally the basement studios are cool place and also very nice acoustic wise. So and of course, yeah, for some people maybe don't know it, but I'm of course the front man, but we are really a team, and one of the biggest partner in this team is of course John Iris, who programs all these great instruments. So my task is to, of course, to have feedback with John about how the code has influence on the sound, what you can do, what you not can do. But mainly my task is to create great presets, but also to think about the concept. So B.I.T is really a concept which I had in my mind, just like Blade. Blade, for instance, this idea for Blade, I had during a jogging session. I thought, yeah, well, what would it be cool instead of changing? Normally you have a waveform, a saw waveform, and a saw waveform is built up from partials, so harmonics. You have a fundamental and then the harmonics. Is if you could change these harmonics dynamically, and of course, in the early age of virtual synthesizers, oops, no, I did the wrong button. Sorry. In the early age of synthesizers, it was essentially not possible because it was too CPU intensive. But this is how the idea was born for Blade, so that you can change the waveform, the harmonics of it. And Blade is a very different synthesizer compared to the other synthesizers we have. And so that's a part which is my main job, to think about what the instrument should be, what's inside of it. And of course, we also listen to you guys, your input, your ideas and comments. We take that all in account. And because, yeah, essentially we built these instruments so that you also enjoy them and love them. Okay, so I'm checking here in the chat room. If I would go to dance fair, yeah, well, I stopped quitting a bit doing the trade shows because it's so exhausting and time consuming. And I did not do the recent years no show. And you can see that we released quite some new products also because of this, that I had more time being in my studio. But of course, maybe someday I will be back again. on Dance Fair and maybe also on other shows. But it normally takes, in terms of time, 2 weeks at least. In terms of travel, that kind of thing. So even if a trade show is 1 week, it takes me 2 weeks in times of work. And of course, it's a pleasure to meet our end users, to meet our customers. That's one of the big fun parts. Of course, I hate travel, but that's one of the fun parts of the trade shows. Okay, let's see. Somebody does ask, GFX render engine. Okay, yeah, maybe you talked to John Iris in a. I did not hear that discussion. GFX render engine. Not sure what that means, but yeah, just drop me a note and I'll look into that. Okay. Well, guys, we are already at the end of our live stream. Next week, if all goes well, another live stream on Thursday, always 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock Central European Time. And as mentioned, yeah, you always can watch it back. There's a playlist called live stream. There you always can watch it back. And there are plenty of them. And there's always something interesting to look at. So next week we will be back. And yeah, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like the videos we made. We have this video, of course, today released about the Anchor S. Native Instruments Anchor S support of B.I.T. 6 minutes. Watch it. It's interesting if you have the Anchor S keyboard or Machine 2. It shows what I did in terms of the layout for the parameters. And yeah, you also can have a bell. I think it's a symbol called a bell, which is down in the YouTube. Then you get the notification that, for instance, I go live with the live stream. So thank you for watching, guys, and see you hopefully next week, and keep well.